Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a situation that is frankly on a knife's edge: the rapidly escalating tensions between the United States and Iran. We're going to break down what an actual military conflict could look like, especially now that some very powerful forces are being moved into position. So, where does something like this even begin? Well, it often starts with words. In this first part, we're going to look at the high-stakes language flying back and forth, because that's what has really set the stage for this whole dangerous confrontation. Starting with the U.S., the threat was about as direct as it gets. That's a pretty unambiguous signal of zero tolerance for any kind of hostile move from Iran. And Iran's response? It was every bit as intense. They fired back with a warning of their own, promising a devastating reaction to any American aggression. It was a classic case of meeting fire with fire. Okay, but words are one thing, right? Threats get thrown around. So what turned all of this heated rhetoric into a credible, tangible threat of war? Well, it all comes down to moving the pieces on the military chessboard. So here's the thing. According to military experts, the real game changer wasn't the talk, it was the hardware. The key difference is the recent arrival of some very specific, very powerful military assets in the region. And that's really the heart of it. As retired Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery puts it, the threats can now be backed up with immediate force. Before, it was just talk. Now, the capability is there. The switch has been flipped. And this is the hardware that makes it all so real. First, you have the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group. You have to understand, that's not just one ship. It's practically a floating airbase with its own fleet of warships, projecting incredible power. Then you add F-15E fighters for precision strikes and the tankers to keep them in the air longer. And then there are the B-2 stealth bombers. These things can launch from the U.S. itself and hit any target on the planet. All right, so with all those forces now in position, what would a military strike on Iran actually look like? What's the playbook? So if the order were to come down, how would this all go? Well, military analysts have laid out a likely sequence of events, and it wouldn't just be a single attack. It would be a highly coordinated, multi-stage operation designed for maximum overwhelming impact.
And this really shows you the playbook. Phase 1, you have to blind the enemy. That means taking out their radar and air defenses, using things like anti-radiation missiles that literally hunt for radar signals. Phase 2, once they're blind, you deliver the main blow. You're talking about overwhelming firepower from the sea, from submarines, and from the air. Then, Phase 3, you amplify that power by bringing in allies like Israel, which could potentially double the strike's punch. And the target list isn't just random, it's specifically designed to cripple Iran's ability to command and to fight back. So we're talking about hitting the Revolutionary Guard, their missile facilities, maybe even the national leadership. And of course, the nuclear sites are a huge potential target, though, as analysts warn, those might have been moved or hardened, making them a much, much tougher nut to crack. Now, here's a crucial point to understand. A strike like this doesn't happen in a vacuum. The moment it begins, it would send immediate and severe shockwaves across the entire Middle East. And this right here, this is the core tension. It's a dangerous standoff. The U.S. can project this massive power from the sea and air without ever putting boots on the ground. But Iran can hit back. They've promised to strike at dozens of American bases and allies like Israel, all of which are well within range of their missile arsenal. So that brings up a huge complication, right? What about all the neighboring countries? Where do U.S. allies like Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar fit into this picture? Well, these nations are basically walking a tightrope. Publicly, they're against a military strike. But they also host the American airbases that would be absolutely essential for launching one. This makes them vital to any U.S. plan, but it also paints a giant target right on their backs, creating a massive diplomatic crisis. And so that leaves us with the central and frankly terrifying question. All the pieces are on the board. The capability for a truly devastating conflict is locked and loaded. The only thing missing now is the order to begin. And the entire world is watching, just holding its breath for the next move.